regular scheduled disconnections oh my goodness, the microphones are terrible. Why didn't any of you remind me? Hello everyone, welcome to yet another live stream. Give me a second, because the microphone is a terrible spot. You should have reminded me. Nothing greater than re-screwing a microphone after it's already on. Hi there everyone, hi and welcome and hi. Hi and welcome to another live stream. How are you all doing? There's one more thing I forgot about. Jeez, honestly. None of you remind me of anything these days. Just, I start the live stream and all of you just sit there saying nothing. Just waiting for me to figure it all out. Despicable. What do you think it's my job? Hi, the Timon, welcome.
Hello.
And hi. And then there we go. Will it work in the Oh, it did work in the face, right? Hi there everyone, how are you all doing? Coffee, you say? Actually, no. Actually, no. Today we might not do coffee. Here's though the plan for today. I'm excited because I finally finished the fucking boring video I've been whining about for a really long time. And so here's the idea. As you may probably know, I've got a cat. I do have a cat. And the problem is that bitch is loud, really loud. It's actually been awful recording the video. First of all, they are either running around with a tiny little ball that they got from God knows where, or they are just bumping my camera, or they are meowing at me. It's a pain. So here's my idea. I've got this, which I bought a while back ago, thank goodness to my retail therapy, which is a laser pointer. And what I thought that we could do today is we could just make a tiny little laser pointer, because what am I supposed to buy one? Ridiculous. Also then I might later on, I don't know, make a video where I do 4 different things. This might be number 1, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, any questions? Live chat, I've already switched to live chat. Gotcha.
Beth took my job.
Yeah, Beth thought he was being clever. Oh, fool. Anyhow, I am curious about something. I have some batteries, which I'm yet to unpack. I actually bought them quite a while ago. I was kind of worried that they would take a long time to arrive, but I've had them for about a month now, so I suppose ordering them online might have not been the dumbest of ideas. I thought I needed them quickly, but they really have been sitting here for a month now. Another thing I would like to test out this stream, which I might as well do right now, I would actually like to switch it up a bit so that I would have separate audio for Discord, and I could then mute the desktop audio so that I could try listening to music on my computer. I thought it would be a terrible idea because, well, Find the screw was make it his voice. Is my voice a dubstep? Is it? Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. That sounds fine.
And no, it's fine, but for a minute it was all dubsteppy.
Okay. Here's the plan. We'll open this up. Take out battery, and we'll see if we can power the laser with a single battery, because then we could actually make this into a pretty sleek design, because then we could have a laser like so, all in a straight line, which would, I would say, would be pretty clean. But first, not that, we obviously need to test it. I don't have a case for a single battery as far as I'm aware, do I? No. I have my surgery toolkit, but that's I don't have a single battery case, because yeah, why would I have a single battery case? I've had a bunch of quad battery cases, but I've also lost them.
What do you mean surgery toolkit?
Well, it's simple. I mean, it's pretty small, that mate. It's just the thing. What's it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 scalpels. I bought them as a pack of 10, but I already used 3. So now there's only 7.
On what? On what?
Surgery. It's a surgery toolkit. Timon, keep up, honestly. My goodness. First jumper cables, I suppose. That'll be quite convenient. Where have I left my jumper cables? Where have I left them indeed? Oh!
I'm actually.
I also found my gun recently. That's unrelated. No, that's not my jumper cables. That's not my jumper cables. It's fun to think that people who would have seen the video, the foreshadowing with the live stream and the plates set on fire, might think that that's just something that happens rarely, or I did that as a bit. Well, I mean, I did do that as a bit, but no, this happens pretty commonly on these live streams. Oh, there we go. I found the jump cables. We're only gonna get 2 of them, black and red for now. That's because all we want to do is we want to see if the laser works. If it works with a single battery, because I know for a fact it works. We've already tried that on one of the previous live streams, and if it does work with a single battery, well, that would just be lovely. So first I'm gonna just hold that in place, and may make it have mercy on our souls. That does not appear to be working. It's because it's short-circuiting somewhere. See, I was kind of banking on it working first try.
Wait, there's a new video. What?
Shit.
Since when?
An hour, I think. Used to do that a lot. They do that with
didn't
yeah.
Ping in the.
Yeah, because I hate this video. This video was been holding me back from the good videos. What I'm working on right now.
What are you working on right now?
A laser pointer for my cat. I'm gonna make a video where I do where I make 4 different things. It's gonna be start of a new series, and basically I want each thing to be as different from the previous as possible. First one will be just a laser pointer. Second one will be a box for this little thing, which will be in reference to Iron Man. You'll see. Third thing will be setting up this Raspberry Pi 0W as a wireless access point, and the fourth one will be just sulfuric acid, but like this full container of sulfuric acid. You can't see it in the camera. It's how absolutely massive that is. That is a 3-liter beaker. It is in fact comically large. And yeah, and so that's the good video, because it involves electronics, computer science, mechanics, and chemistry. It's a perfect mix. But I couldn't work on it because I was working on the bullshit. Where have I put all my battery casings? This is utterly ridiculous. Oh, this is solid. My goodness. I know for a fact I've had so many. This is ridiculous. What happened to all my... You know what? I might need to go to check up on my backup boxes. Give me a second. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back.
Alright. I won't. Colon 3. Double dot colon 3 double dot. Double dot colon 3 double dot. Wait, that's called a... Wait, that's called a colon. No, the colon is... Yes, the colon is double dot. Why am I saying
I keep some certain backup boxes. Well, they're not really backup boxes. They're also my boxes of electronics that I don't bother bringing in. And so one of them, I brought only 2. I probably should have brought more. One of them is this, which, well, it certainly has a couple of things in it. Oh, this is I remember what this is. This is a... Shit, starts with an S. The thing to control the PWM motor, which would be convenient because I do also have a PWM motor. What's part what we're looking for? What's this? Jumper cables? I'll take those. That's convenient. Oh, my controller! Ah, this is where this one. This is the breadboard has been half eaten by acid. That also happens. A screwdriver, no, I got two of those. It's not what I'm looking for at all. Tape, that's useful. Resistors, already got a bunch. A comically large button for absolutely no reason. Absolutely, yeah, I'll take that. A €2 coin? Why the fuck not? Why is it doing it in this box? A bunch of modules that don't work. This is all shite. This is all just shite. And proper shite as well. Although this isn't ending now quite well. Damn it. Anyone remembers what happens to my battery casings? I'll take that as a no, okay. That complicates things, because we might need to improvise some. The fucking 10. Ain't that gonna be fun. I know for a guess that this laser pointer works. Just something. Does it say what kind of... No, it doesn't say anything on the laser pointer, of course. Why would it say anything on the laser pointer? That would be too easy.
I absolutely love the chat.
Yeah. Shit. That's not great. It works with 3. It works with 2. Okay, it's 2 batteries. That's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. So here's basically what we'll need to do. We will need to make a design that takes in 2 batteries, just stacked on top of each other like this, and then it will need to fit in a laser pointer on top. We could actually have it be a bit on the side, just for the sake of, well, I know what actually. I really like the circularity of it. Basically, this is what we'll need to incorporate into a single design, like so. This sort of thing, where we'll have the laser, we'll have the 2 batteries, then we'll have the button at the bottom. One end of the laser will go to the top battery, the other end will go to the button will go to the second battery, and then hopefully... It's a very satisfying button, it's big and red, which is honestly anything good wish from a button. Okay. I'm pretty certain I had another like big red, really satisfying clicky button, but that's what we get now. So, time to whip up ye olde SolidWorks. One thing which I will do now is I will add a new... Name's already in use. Well, piss off then. Discord audio, whatever. Good enough. Discord... Okay. Now. Bless me. Bless me.
You.
Alright. Cool. That was a test to see if the Discord really works, and it does. That's good. Now let me just try something real quick. To see if I can play my own music. I'm sorry I can't play my own music for you all out there as well because of silly things like copyright. Oh shit, I'll need to play something else that doesn't actually... Okay, this is a test, just to see how it goes. That went pretty well, alright. If you hear any music going through, do let me know, because, well, we don't want this live stream to be taken down. There are so many excitements ahead. I know that nothing is happening yet, but just, oh, let me cook, alright? Wow, day 864 already. Back in my day it was 863. It's not a day anymore. We've been we've went quite a way, to be fair. We've went so far there's no longer days. Okay. So let's do it. One and is one laser. That's going to be our going to be our thing number 1. It's gonna be exciting because this will be a new kind of series of videos that I'll be working on streams. Except this time for these videos, I'll not only be working on the videos themselves, but also I'll be making shit, which hopefully making shit will be the biggest part of the video. Entertainment is back. That is a great reference to AJR, to the AJR song. I agree. It's a good song. It's a splendid song. Another thing I could need is my power cables, which unfortunately, right up to this point, I've been using to supply power to my electric keyboard, which I guess, well, we're gonna sacrifice something. I don't have another cable extender. So there we go. Now we have power. Good. Oh, finally it worked. Okay. So then, I've window capture, and that window will be SolidWorks. SolidWorks, more like Solid doesn't. Oh, what a joy indeed. I have no idea how I'm going to need to like cut it away a bit, make this a bit more. Yeah, sure, why not? Good enough. There we go. Okay, so first we should start with something simple. Coffee. How about that? Does that sound good to all of you? I just got an ad, Mickey. If the cup is all of that 5 cents. An ad is not 5 cents. If an ad was 5 cents, I would be rolling in money. Ad is around 1/20th of a cent. Depends on the ad, to be fair. Like if 20... Oh, my good cup is clean. Oh my goodness, my favorite cup is actually clean. Oh. Now we are gaming. Yes. I haven't had my coffee today. I finished the video instead. Oh, and I just made a mess. I don't even care. I'm just excited. Excited for this live stream. I've been looking forward to this live stream for quite a while. Like, you all have no idea. I've spent the last however many days working on a video I didn't want to work on. Just because, and the only thing that kept me alive was the thought that once I'm done I can get started on this. When we get to the asset part, it's also going to be fun because I'm also going to do that on stream. I'm going to do that on stream in fact. Alright, enough chit chat. Time to get to it. Caliper, making a bomb on stream, exactly, spot on. My beautiful, beautiful new caliper, which I've got. Thank you, patrons. Alright. First we should start by a battery, I imagine. I feel like a battery would be a fair start. So let me just save the file. Jeez, my electric kettle was loud. I apologize for that. Hi, the Quasar! I arrived just in time for the calendar with a momentous occasion after seeing the previous one, yes. I mean, I still have the remnants of my last caliper. This is my, well, parts of my last caliper. It's, may it rest in peace, if anything. I don't know why I still keep it. It's sentimental value, I suppose. Alright, first we're gonna model the batteries, because you gotta start somewhere. So first we start with a cylinder that is the diameter of 14, let's say. Yeah, I would say 14. So a diameter of 14 remember.
Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, no. I know. It's goddamn loud.
Satisfying sounds.
Comforting. Positron blew my ears out. Yeah. Hold on.
No, it wasn't me.
No, you are significant. Like, I reduced you by half on Discord and you're still extremely loud. No, I've reduced even further.
But I talked before today. Like,
I don't tell you, it is really loud. I don't know if it's the way that Discord captures audio from applications or... No one gaming. So, 14 was it? Yeah, 14. Now it's time for the height. The height appears to be... It just sparked because I connected the two ends of the battery with a caliper. Okay, let's be a bit more careful then. That looks like 47.5. To be fair, I could just look up AA batteries, but I like this more. This feels more... I just shocked myself again. And stop doing that. 47. $47.75 by 14. All right. Base over battery. Simple. Then what we measure is we measure the knob on the top, which is 530. And then we extrude that. How far? Good question. Extrude it to 2 millimeters, it looks like. Perfect. Then the knob at the bottom, because I would like to be precise, knob at the bottom in height appears to be 1 millimeter. That makes sense. Diameter of 9 millimeters. Okay, sweet. So we've got the model of our battery, which we will use as the core apparently, because why not? Now let's go for the laser, because that will be our part number 2 that we'll use. The button will be a bit more annoying, but I think we're gonna manage. Especially since it has a screw on, which normally would be really convenient if it wasn't for the fact that the thing is cylindrical, okay? The button is a square, and the screw-on is a hexagon. I don't understand whose idea was it to have all of them be different shapes. But this will make things ever slightly more challenging because we'll have to like screw it on somehow. And I don't exactly have an idea on how we're gonna achieve that. Now cross that bridge when we burn it, as Black Thunder says. Alright, whatever. Now it's time. So yeah, we have this. Then I'm going to make a new file, this time an assembly file. I hope it won't confuse OBS. It didn't! Great! New assembly file, and in this assembly file, we will have laser. Beautiful. We'll have a battery. Ain't that just wonderful? I really hope you can't hear music in the background, because I really don't want this live stream to be taken down for copyright reasons. I want it to be taken down for the proper reasons, and that is unsafe behavior. Also, I needed to know what a pointer is. Watch my computer science series. I answered that there. I like that series actually because I've been talking about something I actually know. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 2 batteries because apparently 2 batteries is what we need. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make the lines between them. We're going to make them. Hold on. We're going to make them face to face. That's important. And we're going to make them concentric. Like this. These will be our batteries. And we would like appearances, yes. We would like to change the appearance to a different color. I usually like picking this darkish yellow for things that aren't actually printable. So these are the external parts. Hi there, Theo. What is happening? I am making a laser for my cat because it's pissing me off. The cat, not the laser. I love the laser. Okay. 42. 42 it would appear, and then 12. 12 by 42. Remember that. What music are his to cast? That's good, Artistic Panther. I am listening to my own music. I am listening to music that I don't sing to normally, which is already a big sacrifice. You have no idea how tempting it would be to just listen to music I like, but now start singing it, and then that would make me seem even weirder than Lashim already is, okay? I'm making a fair bit of a sacrifice. Alright, laser. I've absolutely
You've
forgotten.
sang on live streams before, it was fun, everyone.
Yeah, but I can't sing. I mean, on the Patreon ones it worked because then we could listen to music together, but on the, if I just sing with no background, it's just all.
No, you have done it before on live stream and it worked out fine.
12 by 42 free. Okay.
When you were playing that Minecraft mod with all the rocks.
To be fair, the way I just modeled it is a bit dull because make it is weird. No way. Crazy, I know. Bring new ground here. Because right here there is a part I can actually screw out. And that part is exactly 37.3 37.3 millimeters in. Now here's the thing. There is a part right here that I can unscrew, and I would really like to see what happens if I unscrew it. I haven't done it. I wanted to do it before the stream, but then I realized I could completely break my laser. I would prefer that to happen on stream. That feels like... Okay, it's not as bad as it could have gotten. Oh, it takes off the filter. What happens if I shine it without the filter? Oh, what do you reckon will happen? Will there be like no lines, only laser? That'd be neat. That'd be really neat. Please let that happen. That would be so tremendous. I don't think it should burn without the filter because that's idiotic. The filter wasn't that tight on. Oh, I think it's less focused if anything. Yeah, no, it looks worse without the filter. Okay. But this is still good because the filter is a screw-on. There is also a spring inside, which I mustn't lose. But this is actually good news. We get to BBs. That's because we can screw it into something. And that's tremendous. Because then we can leave a millimeter. Right. I'm through with today's batch of learning Greek. One thing I don't get so far is why is all kind of like here pronounced differently than... I wouldn't know. There isn't a single consistent language in existence. So we can just give up on that sort of thing. Okay. I won't make a filter separate part because that feels like just unnecessary walk. But 8.7, that appears to be the width. So.
See you. If you want me to, I can ask some of my family members.
Oh, I fucked up. 8.7? 8.7. That is 8.7. Oh, because you double it. The diameter. Amateurs. I am surrounded by amateurs. Now, here's the thing and the pickle. We would like it to stick out a millimeter, I imagine. Which just begs the question of how long is this? It's 4.5. Okay. So this one will be a millimeter and the other one will be 4.5. Remember that number, everyone. It will be important. Aye. So we extrude it by a millimeter and then we however many it was. Oh, I suppose it was 12. I've nailed it. Here we go. This is our laser. And if we go back to the full laser, and if we pop on the laser on top of the full laser, like so. Right here we could give it a bit more distance, I imagine. Like a distance, except down. No, I want. That's also not what I want. Piss off. Up and then distance between these two. Like a centimeter? Ah, would a centimeter be enough? I reckon actually. Yeah, I reckon it would be enough. Okay, so a centimeter. Like so. Cool, so this will be the basis of our laser, right? Then there's only one last bit, and that's the fucking button at the back, which will be the most difficult one to model. But I have faith in us. I believe we will manage. I think. Oh, hope. Okay. Let's start the square, which is 14.6. 14.6. Making squares is annoying because I would like them to be created from the center. So we're gonna have, actually, we're gonna have it the smart way. Haha. We're going to do 14.6. Was it correct? Did someone remember what I was? It 14.6? Yeah, no respect. Good. Okay. Well. Spot on. Ah, how did you add the? Like a way to add. It was 14.6. Thank you, Artistic Panzer. Thank you. I can always count on you. I appreciate you being here. You're a valued member of the team. Equations, that's where it is. Always hides from me. I'm just gonna add big square equal to 40.5 millimeters. Okay. I'm actually going to call it b square variable, b is b. Now the reason why it's important is because right here we can just say it equal to b as v. This, and right here we can just say it equal to b as v. And then this can be equal to b as v divided by 2. And then same, I reckon, over here. Beautiful. We got a square in the middle. Sweet. So that's a square, which is this one. I guess it's true that you were there during the fall of the Roman Empire. Oh, those were the wild times. Me and the boys were just... That says 14.6. Artistic Panzer. I don't mean to be that guy, but that very clearly says 14.6. You just... You know what? You're lucky that I am smart and clever and set it up in a way so that I actually don't need to remake this whole thing. I can just change the 5 to a 6 in a single spot. And then the entire square will just update on its own. You're lucky I am clever, because that was bloody devious what it was. Okay, good. Now how far high it goes. It goes exactly... Let's just call it 6.1, whatever. Good enough. Measure once, cut thrice. You know what they say. And then right here, same business, different day. Need another variable, call it small square variable, and it will be equal to 10.5. Now height. I'm the guy who can take a millimeter of anything. It was 1/10 of a millimeter. You demon. Absolute devious 4 millimeters. Alright. Actually quite tiring walking back and forth like this. Alright. Right here we do have a hexagon we'll need to screw on, which will complicate the process a lot, but whatever. There's a whole technique called fucking lying. Okay. The cylinder, I'm gonna have to be wary of the hexagon. Actually, let me measure the hexagon just to really see. It appears to be third. Oh, I can just take it out, I guess. I'm gonna add the hexagon because I feel like I will add it as a separate part, actually. Yeah. Yeah, right here we'll have 11 on the screw part, but then it just ties off to 10. We could have 11.5 all the way throughout, actually, because it's better to have more than less in this case. $22.7. Well, shit. Wait, shit? Well, shit! Shit and piss and shucks and gosh, dang it. Done it on the wrong face. Standing on the wrong face. I do have to say, I'm not supposed to be speedrunning this, but I am going really quickly. Okay, then we have the two of these at an angle in relation to the square, which is just fun. 0 mm thick, I imagine. 0.5 mm. Well, that's festive. 0.5 mm thick. How's the depth going? 6.5. Okay, this one will be a bit more tricky if I want to nail it. That's because the best way to do it would be with a sort of pattern, I imagine. Some kind of pattern that can rotate them. Circular pattern, I hope it can also offset, because that would be nice. So it's 0.5 by 2.9. Okay. Then we would ideally like the we'd like in the middle. And then hopefully we should be able to select that and then do a circular pattern, and hopefully we can... No, this should be 360. Can I do an offset? Absolutely not. That's great. Well, actually... I would like to rotate this bit if I may. Here about, and that's why we always do it in the middle, because now we can just select the right plane. This, voila, is mirrored. He's becoming normal. Make it, how's life right now? In Monday morning, I have a meeting I need to attend with a psychologist, so that's why I am specifically not going to sleep tonight, so that I can go to sleep at normal hours, that I can make it at the meeting Monday morning. Because I only have one day to, like, I haven't slept tonight, and I only have one day to re-offset myself, which, hence why no sleep right now. Hence why I'm working on the laser. How do we rotate these? That's the good question.
Ways to prove that you're a sane human being, not sleeping at all.
Well, I'm not trying to prove I'm sane. Quite the opposite.
Oh yeah, you wanna prove that you're insane.
Yeah.
But that should be pretty easy, no?
You'll be surprised. Oh, now you're quiet. I'll bring you back. How do I rotate? Shit.
I believe in you, make it.
I have one idea. It's not a great one. There is no way. Rotate entities. Oh, center of rotation. Oh, lovely. 45. Beauty. Absolute. Bitch is what you are. But then if I apply it, why does it apply before the mirror? This is just the camera coffee. The actual coffee is drunk off screen. Exactly. This is just not good. That's the only thing. Oh, because the doesn't make much sense, because this is a sketch. Like, this is not what I want. would really like you to just apply the mirror and just stay chilled. Oh my goodness, I need to delete these. Oh, that is right. I now remember how SolidWorks works. Okay. It does work in a very intuitive way, but you do need to get used to it. Yeah, beautiful. Alright. And now the height, whatever it was, on my absolute beauty of a project. 6.5. That's not fun. I would say that looks proper. Just waiting for an obnoxiously long straw to slowly slide into frame and slap some of the coffee. Oh, I could do that. Would be. Well, I don't have any straws on me, but I could get some. That would be pretty funny. But okay. First of all, appearance. Copy appearance. Paste appearance. Laser, and then we also bring in the button. And then we distance. Let's just do 2 centimeters for now between them. The reason why is because this might need a bit more space. Now, I hope you all can see the vision now of what the laser will look like. Can you explain what you're trying to do? Oh, I'm building a laser. Well, I already have a laser, but I'm just trying to build like a case for the laser to have a laser that I can point with, I can click, and you'll see. Okay, now paste and try button. Alright, sweet. There is one more thing that I am missing, to be fair. Let me bring my microphone closer a bit, because it feels like it's not picking up a lot well. I need to yell, and it's a whole thing. Okay, one more thing I need to do, which I did mention I will do separately, is the nut. That's because the button has a nut to it, and I would just like to capture that nut. It's 2 millimeters thick, and the size of the hex is 14, technically 0.1, but we'll see how accurate. So 14.1, and then place, and that's 2 millimeters. Was it? Okay, good. Now, inside the sketch, we're going to change it up a bit, because there is also the inner circle, and the inner circle is, ladies and gentlemen, it is in fact 11. Looks like 11. Hi, Declani. Hi, welcome. I am doing fine. Beautiful. Let's call it nut, because that seems like a fine name. Now, if we get back to the full laser and chuck in the nut.
Best. See you, very best.
This idiot has obviously place. No wait, that was the right place. What am I doing? I'm being an idiot. This right here. Wait. Then this right here is going to be like, I imagine, 2 millimeters, well, less than 1 millimeter difference. Yeah. Okay, so we've got it all. Now what we need to do is we need to figure out the case for it. It may seem like a simple task, alright? Especially with how quickly I've modeled all of the parts. It may seem like the case will be a simple part, but it will not be. That's because if you've seen my controller video, you remember that designing is actually a lot more troublesome than it may seem. That's because, first of all, we want the utility, so we obviously want it to hold up the laser. But second of all, we want it to be assemblable. We want to be able to assemble it, basically. And third of all, we want it to be printable. And those two restrictions are actually quite rough. And in order to see what I mean, let's try to design the laser casing. But first we need to plan it, so how are we gonna do it? Well, the way I imagine it, because we need the access to the inside, in a way, before we get access to... we need access to the... What's happened there? I'm sorry, what? I don't think my OBS is running well. This is meant to be paint. This is not paint. Okay, well, that didn't work. So it works. There we go. We've gotten paint. Okay, so we need to design it right now. We have, in fact, what do we want to access? Well, we have the laser, which we want to access only on assembly, and this won't be the easy one. That's because it has it's a bit of a two-parter, and basically all we'll need from a laser is we'll need it to get stuck into our design. We'll need to screw it on. So that's simple-ish. Then we'll have the middle part, which will be just two batteries. Will be our middle part. And then we have the end part, which is the clicky button, which once again we want it to get stuck. So the button will go from the outside in and then will get screwed in, which that's doable. The screw work on this might be a bit subpar, especially since screwing on something this small is quite idiotic, but oh well, what can you do? I'm trying to think of the best way to do it, and I think I may have it. That's a maybe. There's a maybe. Basically, we'll do it in 3 parts. Or 2 parts. We could have this as a one big part. And then this as the other. Let's not do it in yellow because it's really hard to read. Let's do it in red. This will be the first part. This will be the second part. Then we'll clock them both together. Because right here, we could have... this is rough. We could somehow encase our laser and make like a small exit. So we could do it in 3 parts actually. First one will be the long one for our batteries and the laser. Then we're going to have a cover which will be exclusively for the first to release the cables from the laser, or actually one of the cables, because the other one will go onto, well, I would need like a flat sheet of conductive material that I could push a battery into. And then the other cable, so cables are represented in orange because why not? So one of them will go like this, the other one will go like this, and then this one ideally should go into some kind of flat sheet, and then we will just extend this again. And that way, once we lock everything in place, so this will be our 3 parts, once we lock everything in place, then this flat sheet should press onto this battery, this flat sheet should press on this battery, and then that should assemble the entire laser? Question? Doing it in 3 parts, that's ballsy. That's a ballsy low amount of parts, but Backlog friction. Well, it's, I mean, maybe. That's all a maybe, but not quite what we're looking for right now. What we're looking for right now is the parts. Okay, so let's call it button part, bottom part, top part, middle part. Okay, fine. So first, the bottom part, which will be the button. Now, what are you constructing today? A laser pointer. Well, a very silly one, but still a laser pointer. We're gonna have a hole that will be 12 millimeters large. Hopefully that should be enough to fit in the entire button. It's gonna be a bit slim, but it's going to be a bit slim. I can also try 13. How big was the square again? 14. Yeah, then 13 should be fine. Should hold it easily. Alright, 13. 13 it is. Why not? I'm gonna do a polygon simply because I don't know what we need. Now the size of the polygon isn't all that relevant. All we need it to be is just bigger. So let's do 2 centimeters. I imagine centimeters should be. That's quite a tight restriction if we're putting on ourselves. Well, 3. Let's do 25. It's a bit tight, but we want it to be as well, so fine, 25. Then on the inside we have the hole for the thing, which will be 13. Beautiful. And then this entire thing was just 1 millimeter in height, like this. Our buttonhole. Then what we need is we need the edges of the hexagon, because that would be the actual casing, for the card, so we can make a case, a card acceleration simulated energy resource. Make it. I have a big exam next year. Should I sleep 7 hours a day or should I sleep less than that? 7 sounds
You
fine.
should sleep
Next year,
more
that
than
sounds
that.
like a lot of time to prepare. Why are you asking about sleep? That feels... I think if you organize your time well, you manage just fine. Seven's no, get that, yeah. Go for it. Don't let the haters tell you what's what. Alright, I've put on my proper making playlist, to which I normally sing, but I'm not gonna this time because I'm on live stream and I need to try to be professional. Alright, so. We have this. Then we have same thing, except right here this will be the thickness of our walls, which I imagine 1 millimeter. Right, at least it has to be at least 1 millimeter. We can't be too preposterous, that'd be ridiculous. And then what would be the total height of it? Well, the total height I imagine would be the height of the entire button, plus a little bit for the flat sheet, which would be 35-ish, question? 35. Okay, so we have this, which is the bottom part. Now, so that you can see the vision I have, allow me to put on the bottom part into the mix. And so the way it's gonna be done is with these two mating on the same, like this, and then these two mating in like so. Like this. Now this allows us to put on the button in, because we can drop the nut and we can screw it on, which is good. That's what we want. And then it allows us a little bit of wiggle room so that we can actually move it around until it's finished. And then gives us a little bit of a space for the plate, which we'll hopefully add on. Now it's time for the other side. A little bit more tricky. Just to recheck. Hexagon, how big are you? 25, gotcha. Right. Alright. Good. 25. Then in the middle, what was the size of the hole that we wanted? Well, I am so glad you asked. It was in fact 8.7, which means we should do like a 10, because I remember this one being 11. No, it's 12. So we can do a 10 just fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is where our screw will go in. Then for the height of it, it's gonna be a, well, right here is gonna be 1 millimeter. But then on top, we're gonna have the other thing, which... however big we're gonna make that. Let's just do 140 for now. Okay, great. So that's the... usually the students in my age sleep less than 7 hours per day because of this shit. Usually our teachers also sleep less than 7 hours and they die for, say, around for 2 years. My goodness. What kind of exam are you going for? What's the exam? By the way, I just want to say I love your nickname. It's, I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge that, but that's a pretty lovely nickname. Little John, Johnny, Jonathan, Jacob. Okay. This is the basic idea. The pickle with this basic idea is that it's quite rough to pull off. I'm not evil, so I will align these two. Here we go.
Also, no matter the exam, if you sleep well, you can prepare better because sleep is good for your brain. So, not sleeping enough for a year can just throw off your entire exam.
Yeah, a long term that doesn't feel like a great strategy. There's no way I can print this. Come little JJJ Jack. There is no way I can print this. Check up me mates. This one we're gonna delete. That's because if we delete that one, then we can actually make them like this. Temporarily, we're gonna remove the mate right away, because we don't actually need it. We'll make them differently later on. But this is the rough idea so far. And you can see already the pickle, right? This was too small. It's right here. Bless me.
Bless you.
Best. Or maybe this one is... No, because right here we still need to pop the laser in, which will be a challenge, to say the least. It's gonna be quite a challenge. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is a pickle. Quite a pickle. I wasn't expecting such an engineering challenge. Yeah, I suppose we need a third part right here, just to get the laser down there. Because if we don't get the laser down there, then we're kind of screwed, aren't we? What a pickle, truly a fermented situation. What the pickle.
Wait, is Quasar still here?
No, that was Theo, but I did also think of that pickle.
Yeah, I know it was Theo, but that's why I asked if Quasar still here, if Quasar
No, I
seeing
don't
this.
know, because I usually sits in silence. Oh, look at that. That made things significantly worse, alright. How can I not select that face now? Splendid. Oh, by the way, I can move it farther and back and back, and they stay together because they're mated. That's a really nice feature of it.
Aeroplane jumps. Was it aeroplane that loud?
Yep. You are, at most of the time on the stream, louder than me when you're not talking. Like the keyboard as well. That's why I had to lower you down earlier on so much on Discord. Is it demented or fermented? There's no other option. You said it. We all know that saying. This looks fine, but man, assembling this is gonna be a pickle. Duh. Okay. I could do it in the ballsy way. Which means a way in which I don't actually add any mid part right here. I just leave it there. And then we push the batteries in. And we just add something at the end that will catch the battery. Yeah. Okay. We're doing it the ballsy way. Alright, got it. We're doing it the ballsy way, which means now it's time to figure out the connections between the two parts. And the way we should do it is, I imagine, first of all, by increasing the thickness right here. Let's increase it to 3. I think it can handle, or at least 2.5. I think 2.5 should be fine. I think they shouldn't intersect. If they do intersect, that's gonna be rough, but oh well, whatever. Then what we could do is we could actually just have some things that extend from this, and then we could... Oh, how cool would it be if we could like screw it on and then rotate it and it would just lock into place? That would be really nice, but man, that would be difficult to print. What else could we do? We could do something simple actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's do something simple and easy to print. That's always more desirable. And that simple thing could be just us picking this. Right, then the thickness will be 2 millimeters, because I don't reckon it needs to be much more than that. Then Let's do, how much is 20? Not 200, 20. Okay. 40? Right? 50. 55. I
And I'm back.
suppose. Damn, it's gonna be. That's not gonna help me much, is it? Yeah. That will not help me much unless I do some more intricate work. Because what I could do is I could just add like a bit of a hole right here, and then we could just have them both lock in a bit, which I suppose shouldn't be that difficult. For example, I can just, you know, can do 5 centimeter on this side, and then like a little bit of a distance from the top, like 2 millimeters. I think this should work. I haven't got a clue. I'm designing this myself. I normally wouldn't care about how long the hole is, but I have a bit of a PTSD from holes being too long and then wrecking my entire design later on, so... Usually I just remember the theory and solve problems in physics, but I don't have a good understanding about that, and I always end up getting 50-60% more papers. What did you do to get good marks in your exams? If you're asking me, then I don't have an answer, because I simply haven't really been doing much exams. Okay. That's the bottom part. Now the top part. Once again, we want to change the thickness in that 2.5. Like this. And then the two sides. Fortunately symmetrical, which means we can pick any two sides, which is nice.
Like personally, what I did to get good grades is just study, but like not at the last minute. But yeah, I don't have any more advice than that. Start studying as much as possible and take care of. Oh yeah, very important. Take care of your mental health. Like, do sleep enough, do socialize, do eat healthy, do exercise. Like these are probably the most important things, because if your mental state is wrecked, then you can't study. It just won't be effective.
I just realized I should have this properly. Oh, I think my camera died. Well, we'll need to replace the battery soon. It's kind of unfortunate because it died right as I was about to go back to to fiddling with the electric aspect of it, so it's a bit unfortunate. Is it healthy to have relationships while grinding for an exam for 2 years? I mean, it is healthy, but if you don't manage, it's still fine. I know people who temporarily gave up on their social life for the sake of the exams, and then after the exams just went right back to it. Shit, this has to be further.
A week or two is fine, but like to just refuse yourself from getting a relationship for 2 years because of your exams is just not you you can't sacrifice your mental health for studying, because if you're not mentally healthy, you won't be able to study either. Like that's the last thing that you ever want to sacrifice, because like if you sacrifice that, it just it's just counterproductive.
Well, I personally won't be giving out mental health advice because I don't feel like I'm qualified for that sort of thing. This is really tricky. First of all, this maid obviously broke, but that's simple because it broke because of the thingamajigs. Now, normally I would just have a cylinder sticking out. The problem is that's gonna be really difficult to print. Really difficult to print. We can still try, I suppose. If we're gonna try that, I might as well delete the side ears. And then all we need is just to check the distance between the 17. Right. So 17, which means 17 from the top. Right, it's supposed to be a centimeter, not a millimeter. How often I mistake the two. Then we can extrude it for 2 millimeters. That's gonna be truly awful to print, but okay. Yep. Why not? Yeah, it's gonna be awful. There's no difference between it, but I just want to rotate. This, for example, I'm pretty certain this should. Damn, it's gonna be so difficult to print. Also, the square doesn't align, which is also annoying. I mean, it can, I suppose. I can just like. There we go. That's a bit better. This should be our laser pointer then. As far as... I think it should be fine-ish, honestly. I don't see much of a problem there. Or at least too much of a problem. Yeah, for example, that kind of keyboard. That's louder than me.
Oh. But you have that very clicky keyboard, and I have a supposedly quiet keyboard. So that's strange.
Not really. My keyboard's pretty far away from a microphone.
I mean, I believe I use my headset's microphone.
If you want, you can start clicking. I can start talking. I can just screenshot for you the levels on OBS.
I believe you, but it's just strange.
Okay. I think this is as good as it gets for now. Which means it's time we export. So we're going to have top parts, export. Then we're going to have bottom part, export. And then, what we need to do is figure out how to print them. Imagine, you said you didn't want to do ionic examples, but you talked about potassium hydroxide. I'm sorry, potassium hydroxide is not a salt, is it?
What the hell do you mean? What? Seventh grade chemistry make it. Seventh grade chemistry.
Potassium hydroxide is a salt?
Yes. How did you make chemistry videos? No offense, but how the hell did you make chemistry videos in the past?
I'm pretty certain. Based on your acoustic activity. I thought it was. going on was distraction again. I've noticed one thing. As I began listening to music, I've stopped talking quite as much, which is probably not a great thing. Ooh, she shot me, bang. Also, my camera died. I should replace the batteries. Not charged. What the okay, I don't know how much this one will have, so we'll need to. I don't know why the battery didn't charge. I plugged it in at the beginning of live stream. It's quite worrisome. Is it because the quick charges doesn't let it charge at all? That would be quite idiotic. Oh, I need to. Okay, hold on, I need to go and check up my battery charge. Right, there we go. We're back, and it's convenient that the camera is back alive because we need to use it since it's alive because we need to see how the button works. I haven't actually really tested it up to this point. Which, to be fair, I felt confident going forward without testing the button because it's a fucking button. But, you know, just in case, feels like a good thing to do. So, the way we're gonna do it is, well, it's simple. We're gonna do it the same way as we've done it before. This time, just extra jump cable. So, we're gonna have yellow on one side, plugged in like this. That yellow will go to... So, red goes right here. Can I grab the whole thing? That would be really brilliant if I could. Cheers, mates. And a cheers, mate, for that. I really hope this is enough. First of all, let me do a quick test. It's not. Okay. Come on. Linda. There we go. Yes! Alright. So now with this setup, we can test the... It fell. Stay in! I swear, you detach this Frankenstein's monster and just attach this one. You're gonna be holding a battery connection. I could be a bit spotty on the craftsmanship, but beautiful. That is actually really satisfying. I should probably stop doing that. The point is, it works. The button works, which is good. That's because if the button works, that means there is no point in me delaying it even further. I need to print this, which is annoying. It really is. Ah, shucks. Okay, so basically, here's the pickle we're having. Here's the pickle we are having. We are having a pickle because we need to print these two parts in a way that so they actually make sense. Now normally we'd enable a support and we would just enable just support and we just plug it in, right? Be auto hybrid. That's kind of what I worried. Oh wait, but suppose on this side, no, that's good actually. This can work. This can be fine. Yes, this can be fine if it's proper good and jolly. How long will it take to print? 3 hours. Just good. Great. Okay. Great, great, great. The least flimsy circuit setup in the entirety of Central Europe. You want the button to do a press and hold or toggle property? I don't care. I actually wasn't certain if it was a press and hold or a toggle until I did that. But apparently it is a toggle, which makes sense with the click. I had my suspicions that was a toggle, but still have to check. Well then. Let's put them a bit further apart. Like this. And I suppose, let's get to printing. Print plate. Bed leveling, time-lapse doesn't really matter because they don't work on my printer for some reason anyway. And as such, I think that's it. I'll need to oil up Jesse a bit. Well, yeah. Okay, I'm sending it. I need to lock my cat in the bathroom because I don't trust it around my 3D printer. Wait, what? Don't even. Oh, damn it. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Oh, there you are. Oh, damn it. This is really annoying because they're sleeping, so I don't actually want to throw them in the bathroom and just put them there. But I know that they're gonna wake up in the next 3 hours. And if they wake up in the next 3 hours, then they're definitely gonna check out my 3D printer. And if they're gonna check out my 3D printer, they're definitely gonna mess up the print. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Also, cat face reveal when? What do you mean cat face? Yep, you already woke up. No, buddy, listen, I'm taking you in with me right now. Come here. No. You're going into lab coat jail. That's when I just pop him on my lap too. No, you're not going. You're not. I know the 3D printer is making exciting noises. I know, but you simply cannot check it out. It is forbidden. Last time, Make It made a cut for his laser.
Are you just gonna lock poor guy in the bathroom for?
No, he's on my lap right now.
All right.
But if he becomes a problem, then yes, I'm absolutely gonna lock him up in the bathroom. And to lock him up in the bathroom because that's where his litter is and the food balls. You can't survive in them.
Food in the bathroom. Nice.
Yes, I have a spacious bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah, but food in the bathroom.
What?
Food in the bathroom. Like I do.
It's the same room that I keep my chemicals in.
You're not making this better.
Also, that's where I clean like all my glassware as well. So there is some glassware over there that's up for cleaning as well. Does cat
Yes,
has a
cat-
name?
cat-
No, it's a cat. Although I do occasionally call them a bitch. So, no, you're going for the printer, aren't you? No, stop right there. Made of touch. No, Paddy, listen. We need to come to an understanding because. Listen, chap. I'm gonna need you to not check out that. Okay, they seem to be genuinely scared of Jesse. Good. Jesse bites. Jesse bites and is really hot. They seem to be genuinely scared, which I hope will persist. Dogs are scared of vacuum cleaners. Why can't cats be scared of 3D printers? That's all I'm saying.
Did you just call Jesse hot?
Yeah, Jesse is hot, as if it's the first time. Anyway, I suppose we can do some other stuff in the meantime. I don't know what exactly. We can work on the video for this. Or we can work on other things, like I have a raspberry here, we could totally do. The box I want to leave for maybe tomorrow. It would be neat if I could finish this video quickly. I just feel like that would be pretty neat test of my skills. We could actually script the video a bit, get ahead. Considering how I started to work on it today, if I already finished the laser, which is like around 1/4-ish of the video. I'm saying ish because I know that the laser I can make quickly, I know that the box I can make quickly, I know that the wireless access point I can set up quickly, and I know for a fact that the acid will take a while. I have bought a 5 kg tub of copper sulfate, which is not something you can electrolyze quickly. I'm thinking that I should actually just do like 500 milliliters, like half a liter for the video, concentrate it as high as I can, and then just keep making acid on streams just for like a month, because that's probably how long it would take to finish that acid. It would be probably quite a while. So, alrighty then, let's script write a bit. Why not? Why not? I reckon. Why not? Acid always takes a while. Yeah, that's a big problem actually. Because like the acid is roughly on the same level of difficulty as all the other things, but it just takes longer. Also, recently I've taken to just randomly when I'm working on stuff like these, wearing my lab coat with no shirt on, which is honestly comical considering how the reason why you would wear your lab coat is for safety reasons, and I'm just wearing no shirt on. But it's really, really, really comfy, so. How we do it in a well-ventilated area for you and your cat's health's sake? Well, technically, the worst that could happen, which is unlikely to happen, would be sulfur dioxide, which isn't ideal, but it's really unlikely to happen. I don't think it should make any sulfur dioxide. Although I wouldn't bet my life on it. To be fair, a part of what I want to do is I want to actually make a cover for the comically large beaker. That's kind of would be the whole point of the acid. It would be more of an acid making setup than an acid that I'm going to be making. I can just see my cat eyeing up the printer. and it's just bloody terrifying. Where's my phone? This. I can.
Can we just, while make it this way, can we just talk about how make it said that they wouldn't bet their life on that the very best thing wouldn't happen, and that same thing could just threaten make its life?
I mean, I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I would absolutely bet my life on it. Turn of phrase really doesn't work, does it? When you say I wouldn't bet my life on it, and then just directly risk your health.
I wouldn't bet my life on it. Proceeds to bet their life on it.
Well, let me show you. No, no, you little bitch! Move away from the printer. It's just. This is an accident, like waiting to happen. Okay, so it feels like Five Nights at Freddy's over here. Let me show you all first a video, and then an image, and then you will see what I am, like all my worries in the flesh. So basically first, you can have this video right here, showing you how my cat is just eyeing up Jessie. Absolutely eyeing up. And then, right as I finish the video, this is the position assumed. I am not feeling confident about the situation, you know? You're gonna go to bathroom jail. Because you've run away from lab jail, apparently. You don't like it. Touch that printer and your paws will come off. No, fuck off! I do need a... I can actually set up my camera to look that direction. No, that's a great idea.
Cat cam, yes!
Cat cam, give me... No! No! Leave it! Hold on. That's so unbelievably dumb. I don't think you're being sneaky just because you lower down, by the way. This is genuine. Just... Stop that! Move away! That's a cat, as if it's gonna listen. I need something to destroy. Oh well, to be fair, I do have a lot of like rustly things in case something happens. Okay, you're moving good. Lost interest? That's proper reaction. No, you haven't lost interest. You are actively eyeing up. No! Piss off! Yeah, that's what I felt. Piss off? Piss off, I say! Okay, a rustly thing is working, at least for now. You know, something this could work. Looks like a hazard waiting to happen. That's what I'm saying! Don't look at me! It really does look like a hazard. You see, my actions of putting them in bathroom jail are completely justified. I am not in the wrong here. This is just good planning.
But why don't you put Jessie in the bathroom?
Because that would be way more annoying. After every single time I unplug Jessie, I need to like repeat the password to my internet, and it's just the whole thing. It's just honestly such a hassle. Well, did you get bored of the print with Jessie? No, you just walk to the other side of the room. That's great. You can make clear that she's allowed to watch, but not to get too close to it. Just take your time and make them comfortable. Sit, lie next to her and enjoy her observing. Theo, it's a cat, all right? Oh, I'm sorry. Allow me to trust the cat with respecting boundaries. It's a cat. You know that saying, curious as a blank? The problem with 3D printers is that they are unbelievably delicate mid-printing. Cat is roughly as smart as a 4-year-old. I wouldn't trust a 4-year-old around Jessie. I wouldn't trust a 6-year-old around Jessie. And an 11-year-old. My goodness. Honestly, in my workshop, it's 18 or older. I don't mean to be that guy, but like, that's the minimum. You wanna be in my workshop 18? Don't look at me. What do you want me to do? Jessie is on my side, mate. Since when is the printer called Jessie? It has 2 names, right? People can have 2 names. Jessie Perry. I think Jessie has more of a spark to it, but Perry starts with a P, which is appropriate of a printer. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Piss off. Oh, where's my thing? There it is, okay. Piss off. No, no, no! No! This is... This is entertaining. I don't... This is like one of the best streams I've done. If I'm to be completely honest. Whoa! Piss off! Piss! Right, good. The print is 3 hours long, and we might be here the entire time. But like, I don't want to be lying to you all. I am having a lot of fun. Oh, good. Yeah, play with the tape. The tape is fine. The tape. Oh, what? Now that I've said the tape is fine, you don't want to. Okay. Throwing shit ain't gonna teach her anything. Theo, it worked, alright? You can't argue with results. I'm not trying to teach him anything. You think that cat is gonna survive long enough in my workshop for lessons to actually work? Come on, mate. I give that cat a week. Tops. See, he's playing with the tape. You called me crazy. You called me crazy. They called me a madman. Oh, comedian, rise you came, and the cat went away. Oh, I've got so much more shit to throw at you if you come close. And I've got like a lot of shit before we need to move on to the big stuff, like glass. There is a madness to my method. Okay, good. It's moving. I think it lost interest. Nope, never mind. Every single time I say that, they just turn right around. They're a bit further away, so unfortunately I can't pan the camera that far out, because it is quite far away. But, yeah. I think for now we're in the good territory. This is genuinely one of the best streams I have done in a while. Like for each video, I'm going to be. For each video, I want to be keeping like little bits and bites of the. Make like a compilation of streams. That would be good. With like me setting the plate on fire, throwing tape at the cat because of my nose. It worked. How smart is it for you to make jokes about being on Monday? You have to prove government you aren't. No, I have to prove I am. Don't worry. People mistake that because it is a very natural thing to mistake, isn't it? Usually you have to prove you're not crazy. No, I need to prove I am. Kind of worried about that because I only scheduled a meeting with a psychologist and I haven't scheduled one with a psychiatrist, and I can't schedule over a weekend because, well, it's a weekend. Which means on the Monday, early in the morning, I actually need to call them up. Somehow manage to schedule a meeting with a psychiatrist on a Wednesday, because if I don't schedule it on Wednesday, I am properly and utterly fucked, unless I do it really early morning on a Wednesday, which, well, I wouldn't like to button that. And then hopefully it will be the end of it. I really hope it will be the end of it, because now I can just focus on making videos. It's annoying. The tension. And I'm not even talking about the cat right now. This is content. this is just content. Unfortunately, my tripod is kind of shit.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi, the Black Thunder. How you doing?
Oh, you know.
Oh, do I now? Because I don't think I do.
Well, I just woke up, so I don't either.
Oh.
I was hoping you would.
Oh, we are having a banger of a live stream. Top 10.
Yeah, you're recording Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the cat's new.
Recording Jesse because I've just started a 3-hour-long print, and I'm kind of worried that the cat will mess it up. So we've just spent the last like half an hour saying, "What? Piss off, mate! Don't try anything funny over there." I really wish I. Whoa, the cat's new though, it's a banger line. Whoa, the cat's new. Ah, alright. Completely desensitized at this point. I'm just numb to anything.
I mean, that is generally what happens, yeah.
What do you mean at this point? Like, Black Thunder was always like this.
No.
Well, since we know you.
Yes.
I do have to say, the cat's an idiot. But to be fair, all cats are idiots. It is one of my most firmest beliefs, and I've said it many times in the past, and I'll say it again. Many times on streams as well, but it bears repeating. I don't think that cats are evil. I think that all the people who think that cats are evil are just misunderstanding it. You see, cats aren't evil, they're just idiots. They're just like really, really dumb. None of the things that cats do are malicious, they're just, born from stupidity. No, don't try anything. You're not being sneaky. We all know that wasn't this. I'm running out of shit to throw. Bye, Theo. Bye. Have a good one.
It's time to buy a Nerf gun.
Oh wait, never mind. I have a whole box full of 3D prints.
Oh, you could just 3D print a Nerf gun. That's true.
Oh no,
too.
I have a box full of 3D prints. I'm gonna throw at the cat. What do you mean?
Oh, okay, that works as well.
I'm a man of solutions.
Me too. Mine are worse. Does that door slide?
Yeah, it does.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, this apartment is wild, full of surprises.
The doors move wrong, you have a 3D printer on the floor, the cat's new.
This is the best stream in existence. Thank you, comedian. I agree. It is my top 10, I do have to say.
It's number 1.
I'd say it's top 3.
It might be. It might actually be top 3. I mean, I don't know. The 22-hour long live stream was also pretty good.
Yeah, that was number 1.
Oh, number 1 is rough. Do you know what would be number 1 for me?
Probably the first one.
Oh no, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
But it's the first one, so it has to be number 1.
Jesse is slow. Jesse's trying their best. You know, Jesse's back. Jesse's working 9 to 5. Well, not really 9 to 5. It's more like Jesse's working more like noon to 3 p.m. But still, it's quite a fair bit. Which would I call the best stream?
The best stream.
What would be the best stream?
Oh, no, you're trying to figure out which stream you've already done.
What would I... That's a good question. Actually, it might have been a 20 couple hour one. I did have fun then. I've almost finished Outer Wilds. That was chuffed to bits a fair bit. Why cut talk in chat? Oh, you are in for a surprise. Well, maybe not. No, they're just sitting next to my bag. Because Jesse, because Perry is objectively better. Well, that's why the double name. You pick whatever you want. It's convenient.
I don't think that's how that works.
In this case, it does. I was supposed to like work on the script for the video, but we kind of got distracted, haven't we? Just a bit.
In which universe is Jesse a better name for a 3D printer than Perry the printer? This one, obviously.
What are you digging for under the... What's going under the cupboard? You try anything funny? I am the funny one here. No. Stop that. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's so hot. Cute doggo, I know, thanks. It really feels like I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's. except instead of the mask, I just throw shit at a cat. Put that on a t-shirt. That's a quote. That's a live stream quote I've ever heard one. I feel like I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's, except instead of the Freddy's mask, I'm just throwing shit at the cat. Where's the cat? The cat ran off to play with the little piece of plastic I threw at it, obviously. Since either that or bathroom jail. And you all said that bathroom jail was a no, so you know. We're doing this. Why did you come to me? No, you... What, you don't want to sit on my lap right now? I'll be honest with you, mate. This would be the perfect timing because then I could watch over you, so that you wouldn't have to fuck with my 3D prints. Can you believe that this cat hasn't knocked down a single piece of glass where I own? Not a single one.
Not yet.
All of them are out. It's been here for. When did I get it? I forgot. Time is blurry. It's been here. It's already been here days. All right. And my glassware is just out everywhere, haphazardly, like on the edges of shelves and such. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here,
They've
you.
seen how you handle it, and they're like, nah, they'll take care of it themselves.
Come here, you bitch. I'd almost walked.
No,
out
that's
because
dogs.
That got their attention. I call him mate, a bitch, idiot, and cat. Those are my names. Buddy, also buddy. I do call animals buddy a lot. And people. I suppose it's subset. It really often chills next to my computer because it's warm. The problem there being that there's so many cables it could pull on and it could throw my monitors down. And it once nearly did. It was an experience, certainly. Alright. I'm turning off the cat cam for now because the cat just isn't doing anything. Okay, so now that the cat is firmly in my lap and is trapped in the lap jail, what should we do with the rest of the live stream? Any ideas? Because I could work, but I imagine after the cat cam that would be a bit of a downgrade, I would say. So, any request? Cat cam. The cat is not doing anything. It's chilling on my lap. I'm trying to put him to sleep.
You can still turn on the cat cam and we can watch how the cat is falling asleep.
My lap? No, that's for OnlyFans.
Shane Dawson, no.
So, anything? The evil scientists make it, you can do it. I mean, to be fair, I do right now have a cat on my lap that I am continuously petting, so the evil scientist vibes are hitting in. Ah, Mr. Bond.
No, Bond, I expect you to die.
Well, Mr. Bond, I am now going to turn away while this perfectly calibrated laser of death slowly saws you in half. I will now walk out of the room and expect you to be completely sawn in half by the time I get back. It is impossible for you to attempt a successful escape. Okay. Cat's laying down, but I can't tell if it's comfortable or not because cats are just really... I don't understand what because they're comfortable. Okay, so anything? Because if we don't have anything, then we're gonna just do work, and no one wants that except for me.
You should get
I'm
this
gonna go.
Magnum.
I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'll be back in like half an hour if the stream is still going.
Alright,
Bye everyone.
bon appetit. And piss off Black Thunder with your Magnum balls, alright? Not interested. Work plus cat cam in the background. That actually might work.
Quick, in the stream where they're gone.
Well, that would be funny. We might. I don't know. We'll see. Work plus cat cam in the background. Okay, I'm gonna do a Jesse cam, and you will just tell me when there's a cat incoming, and then I'll use that to throw some shit at it. Okay. There we go. It is so so dumb. Play the piano. Play the piano. Play the piano. It's actually not plugged in because I had to move the cord for power. So, unfortunately, I can't. I shan't, I mustn't, I won't. Alright. There will be 4 things in that video I'll make. There'll be a laser, which is currently printed right now. Next one will be the box. Then we will have Wapai. And then, finally, sulfuric acid. Fucking again. Because, you know, 4th time the charm, or is it 5th at this point? I have lost count. So, those would be thems. Does the piano have a name? You know what? Good point. My piano doesn't have a name. Okay. My instinct was Penny, but that just sounds wrong. Let's do.
If it's not a bad music pun, I'm going insane.
Octavius would be funny.
I was thinking the same thing, but also Forte. That would work too.
I mean, Octavius is pretty. I don't think I'll be able to forget Octavius.
To be fair, piano is already kind of a pun of a name because it
I
is
mean,
called
it
a
is.
piano forte. That's the full name.
No, but isn't it forte piano?
No, it's piano forte. That's the name of the instrument because it can play loud and quiet, or quiet and loud in that order.
In Polish, it's forte piano.
That's still Italian.
Yeah, but I said, isn't it forte piano? And you said no. So I don't see how that's still Italian is relevant.
Because they're both Italian.
Also, piano is different from forte piano in Polish.
Oh.
Because, yeah, in English you have grand piano and upright piano. Whereas the lowest one is piano, the top one is forte piano, which I think makes sense, because the lower one is just quiet and the top one is louder. Octavius is great. Thank you, Adrian, thank you. I also like that a lot.
Ah, yes, the forte piano forte.
Yeah, forte piano,
believe...
you are just schizophrenic, mate.
Well, yes, but I don't see what that has to do with it.
Yeah, it's forte piano, not piano forte.
Oh. So in Polish, they really just call it the James Bond, huh?
No, forte piano is in English. Piano forte is not a thing.
I'm talking about a grand piano, and they're calling it a forte piano, right?
Yeah.
In Polish.
Yeah, and in English as well, yeah.
I could have sworn.
There is piano forte, but that's a piano piece by a Canadian composer. There was a film called Piano Forte. 2 films actually, and there is a Piano Forte Foundation.
I have Googled it once and arrived at the first result that confirms my belief. And yes, it is called the piano forte.
What's your source?
The first thing on Google that says I'm right. I may be biased, but I'm honest about it.
I thought piano forte was weird. Yeah, it is forte piano. It's it's funny how you start arguing with me about an instrument I actively play. I started cautious because
You don't have to know
that.
something's history to play it.
It's I started off cautious by saying in Polish because you seemed so confident, but I keep forgetting you have that thing where you just say things in a very confident way.
Maybe I should go into politics. It's a good quality to have in politics. And I'm only half joking because, you know, I could probably do some real damage.
Isn't that what politics is for? Oh man, we're getting topical. We're getting juicy on the Make It live stream. So isn't that what a job? Am I right? Smash that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell. I want this to be interesting. I don't want it to be a boring old Make It video. I want it to be an interesting old Make It video.
It involves lasers and sulfuric acid and a box. Like, it can't be that bad.
Yeah, the box really sells it, doesn't it? I do have a fun idea for the box, because the box is meant to be the one that will be mechanically challenging. They're all challenging in their own unique ways. And for the box...
You're talking about a box, and now you have a cat, and so now I'm concerned.
No, don't worry, I mean, eventually, a look coffin would be nice, but not that kind of box. The box I want to make is... I have this little, like, piece of a couple MOSFETs soldered on a PC board. Like, which is like one of my earliest, I can show it on camera, I suppose. Yeah, it's not in focus, so it's gonna look like shit. But it's one of my earliest like things I actually made electronics wise. And what I want to do with it is I want to make this basically reference to Iron Man, which is where you basically have like, you know, prove that Tony Stark has a heart. Except mine, I want to have this PCB board inside and the text to say prove that Make It has a brain. And that's the box I want to make.
I think it should say had, because if it's in the box, then it means it's not in you anymore.
That's cool. Thank you, KAJO93. Thank you. I think that's cool. And it's also going to be, as I mentioned, a bit mechanically challenging because, well, I'll need to cut. I think it's acrylic. I'm not certain. I think that's what it's called. Whatever. The transparent thing.
Yeah, that would be acrylic.
Yes, so acrylic, and I need to cut it in equal squares, which that's the challenge. It's different
that
from...
shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, but the point is that they well, it will be difficult for me because I haven't done the sort of thing. Normally I just 3D print the components I need. The point throughout the series will be to just like develop a bunch of different skills, so from working in electronics, programming, chemistry, to mechanical stuff, like for example cutting 5 equal squares of acrylic. I bought a tool for it specifically, the rotating thing, for like $50. Well, not for it specifically, it's just a really useful tool to have, but...
I think we call that a circular saw.
Yeah, but there's a specific kind of circular saw. I don't know what it's called, I don't care what it's called.
It turns in squares!
What's Jesse printing? Jesse is actually printing what we made on the first half of the live stream, which is a case for a laser. I think I still have the... Oops, I had to almost spoil the other videos I'm working on there. This is what Jesse is printing. There we go. They will both come together to lock, and then these holes at the bottom will be for the button and the laser that will go in them. Yeah. Laser.
So is this like a real laser, or is this like a dollar store keychain laser pointer laser?
It's a dollar store keychain laser pointer module.
Ah, okay.
It's written in a language I do not speak, so I can't tell you. A laser. This program with 21 CFR. It complies with some kind of law. I don't know what law that is, but it's good that it complies with it. Okay, cat. I want to switch out. I don't want to make just be the typical boring making. Oh, let's make a laser, and I just make a laser. No, I want to give some backstory, give some reasoning. Oh yeah, because another thing. Here's the thing. I really don't want to put too many restrictions on this series. I want it to be as free as possible, so that I can actually fucking have fun for once. But I do have one restriction, definitely. Everything I make throughout the series, I want to be useful in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to just make stuff for the sake of making them and throw them away. Which is especially annoying in chemistry, because there aren't that many things you can actually reliably make in chemistry that will be useful to make. Unfortunately. Sulfuric acid is, for example, one of the things that you can make and are actually useful to make, because you can't buy concentrated sulfuric acid. Or even light sulfuric acid, I'm reason. You can't buy it. So it's actually really useful to make it, because it's fairly simple to make. Most acids fall into that category. Hydrochloric, for example, that would be useful. Another thing that I could make with chemistry is a specific kind of cell that takes in salty water and then turns it into sodium hydroxide and hydrogen and chlorine gas, which then you can burn to get hydrochloric acid. But that is way more difficult than it sounds, because separating off the ions in the middle of a barrier gets really tricky. Mainly because the chemicals used for it are either really expensive or just straight up asbestos, so that's kind of tricky. But yeah, there aren't actually... I
have a silly question about the sulfuric acid.
Yeah.
Why don't you just buy some lead acid car batteries and then drain them, and now you also have a good supply of lead?
It's because lead acids are more difficult to extract acid from. Because then you need to clean the acid. That's a pain. In this case, cleaning the acid is simple, because the same process that makes the acid also cleans the acid, because the only impurity is, well, the reactant. Also, you get a direct indicator of how clean your acid is by just how transparent it is, which I consider to be, well, or rather how clear it is, colorless. I consider that to be really nice. In this case, all I need to do is just electrolyze, boil, electrolyze, boil, and repeat till I reach a desired concentration. Which is nice. But yeah, apart from those, there aren't really all that many things that are actually useful to make in chemistry, which is really annoying.
You could make your own ABS plastic for your 3D printer.
But that's the problem. Most of the things in chemistry that are actually cool, it is way cheaper to buy. And like all it is of magnitude cheaper to buy. Simply because the setup itself is a huge piece of work. So for example, I could make my own benzene if I really wanted to, but what's the point if a half a liter bottle of benzene costs like, I don't know, $7?
You know how to do it.
Another thing I could make, I suppose, is phenol, because I don't think you can buy phenol, but phenol was also really dangerous to make, because if I remember correctly, it was either fuming sulfuric acid or fuming nitric acid.
And high.
And so both of those are, not so nice to be around. So basically, if I were to make phenol, I would need to buy protective gear, and I would need to not do it where I live, effectively. Because I think it was distilling benzene with some kind of fuming acid. It was either sulfuric or nitric, I don't remember which one. Most of these are really acids, because acids are really strictly regulated, so you can't buy them, but at the same time, fairly simple molecules, so you can make them. That's why...
Man, I'm so glad I live in the US, where regulations are for the weak.
Oh yeah, right, US famous for, like, being light when it comes to regulations of chemicals. I'm pretty certain...
It's just that they don't enforce them.
No, they do enforce them quite heavily, simply because every single useful chemical you could have can also be used to make drugs. Because it's just general. Correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe sulfuric acid even falls in that category in the US.
I have no idea. I just drained car batteries for it.
But yeah, there's a bunch.
You have to throw your used car batteries into
Speaking
the ocean
of-
to recharge the electric eels.
Amphetamine could be a fun one, but it would be a bit of a long process.
Also, that is just a drug.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a useful drug. What do you... It's the
Aren't all
superpower
drugs
mode.
useful?
Well, but nothing is as useful as amphetamine. Have you seen that? I keep repeating that because it's just a true fact that shows my appreciation for amphetamine. I once did an entire live stream just dedicated to amphetamine. And I called it the superpower molecule, because it really is. It's a
He doesn't
molecule...
have a problem, guys.
It's a molecule... I've never tried an Adderall, and I would really like to. But it's
Perfect
a...
excuse to make it.
But genuinely, it's a pain to get, so I wouldn't mind making some. I really wouldn't. The problem is that I'm pretty certain if I made it on YouTube, I would need to, like, not show
For
one or two
educational
steps.
purposes only, in bright impact font with a black background over your entire chemistry setup.
No, if I remember correctly, the rule is that I would need to not show one or two, like, key steps, so that I'm not showing the full recipe. I would need to just, like, show the bits and bobs of it.
For Patreons only.
Patreon only making amphetamine. Your full
Yes, please.
uncut. I think I might be against Patreon's terms and conditions. I don't know where I have my own website, to be fair. I could just upload it, but then it could get taken down by the feds.
You just uploaded as part 1, part 3, part 4.
Just like series of videos uploaded on the same day, same hour, and all of them just completely unrelated, making the next thing from the previous thing.
And do them out of order so nobody catches on. We're saying this on the platform.
Or just,
We're gonna put it
or
on.
just doing completely backwards. Where here's how we make amphetamine from this. Actually, I don't need to guess right now. I can just hold on.
Well, if you do it backwards, then it's gonna be like pretty easy to figure out. If you do it completely out of order.
Yeah, I don't want it to be difficult to figure out. I just want plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly. But doing it backwards defeats that, because then it's like, okay, so
Okay.
here's step
There we have
9,
it.
8, 7. You know.
So basically, for amphetamine, there are I remember one which seemed. Oh yeah, this one was funny because this one involves benzene, which I have. The allyl chloride, however, I remember that being tricky. NH4 ion, if I'm not to be mistaken. Hold on, ptable.com. How many valence electrons does nitrogen have? It has 3, yeah, so that makes sense for it to be an ion. Right, this is the... Which one? The synthesis by through the class calculation. Let me look up... Don't mind me, federal officers, I'm just looking up stuff for educational purposes. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Except in our case, we're doing chlorine? Alright, because chlorine is just there to piss off. I forgot. Jeez, I love chemistry. Right. So, for example, allyl chloride.
I mean, you could just explain each step, like abstract, like here's how this reaction works, right? And then say, for example, with these ingredients.
Phosphorus trichloride. These are all vile. I don't like any of those. So basically, allyl alcohol with phosphorus trichloride. There's how do you make? Because there's no way that's something you can buy. Preparation. Just phosphor. Wait, what? White phosphorus? Yeah, mate, on it. No, absolutely not. Yeah, that's not something you. I refuse to believe that's something you can buy.
I mean, you just can't like use it in war.
No, I mean you technically can buy white phosphorus if I'm not mistaken. It's just really expensive because the military wants it. Hi, the Bionerd. Hi, welcome.
So
Hi there.
I found this cool rock on a beach once, right?
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, and I put it in my pocket, right? And I get home, and like my leg is burning by the time I get there, and then I realize that wasn't any rock.
What did you pick up?
A very small chunk of white phosphorus.
I have no idea of any properties of white phosphorus other than the fact that it can work as a like luminescence amplifier. That's all I know
It
about
started
white phosphorus.
burning in thin air, and the reason it wasn't is because it was like half buried and also wet. As soon as
Yeah.
it dried out, it started combusting.
Yeah, its combustion temperature is like you can combust it by scratching your
Keeping-
leg.
Yeah, by
It-
keeping it in
it's-
your pocket for
it-
3 hours.
It ignites us at 50 degrees Celsius. So halfway point from ice to boiling. I genuinely didn't know about the reactivity of white phosphorus. All I know is the like luminescent amplifier thing.
Dangerous, do not touch.
I refuse that phosphorus. I refuse to believe that's something you can buy. Let me see the diamond. Yeah, 4. Right, mate. Right, as if. Well, to be fair, all of these are pretty standard. I have
4, 4,
My-
2. Yeah, you can build this. It'll be fine.
my my soldering flux has worse pictograms than this. So these pictograms are chill, but the 4, that's kind of worrying because that's the helpful environment correctly, which I don't think that's something you could buy them. I don't know. I suppose all the things were
You
questionable.
could make your own white phosphorus.
That's
I
a-
don't think you should film that at least.
Potassium hydroxide. Doesn't potassium hydroxide also have a 4 on the diamond? Yeah, that's a 3. Never mind. Because yeah, that's tricky because of the allyl chloride. I knew it looked too good to be true. One of these has to be just nailing it. Show me. What is this? Benzaldehyde. This seems nitroethane. Both of these seem deceptively simple on their own. He doesn't have to film it. He can just one morning find it under his bed. Oh, that's great. Oh, that is great. Okay, both benzaldehyde and nitroethane seem way more achievable than the other one. Benzaldehyde.
You could just film it the day after Christmas. Be like, so since I was absolutely terrible this year, instead of coal, Santa gave me white phosphorus. What he doesn't know is that I'm going to use it to...
It's always the chlorine in it. Fucking hell. Oxidation of C6 CH3. Alright, so it's like, okay, so it's not phenol, because phenol will have an oxygen. Like a phenol, instead of the oxygen, will have carbon. Right. Partial oxidation of benzyl alcohol. Benzyl chloride. and the carbonization of benzene. Carbonization? Carbon monoxide into organic and inorganic stuff. Oh, can you really? Let me see. Oh my goodness, it really be like this. Like captivating. Truly. Always the chlorine though. If one wanted to dive into the rabbit hole that is electrochemistry, where would one go? To the YouTube channel, Scrap Science. That's where one would go. Scrap Science. Once again, that is Scrap Science. I would recommend. I won't tell you much because electrochemistry is a really difficult one to get started in. Normally my advice is just to do whatever it is you want to do in the given. So like if you want to get into electronics, for example, then just buy a bunch of components, just work with them. If you want to get into programming, just program. If you want to get into, I don't know what else there is, do that, and so on and so forth.
Smithing. Dig a hole in your yard, fill it with charcoal.
Exactly.
Throw in some scrap metal, enough to like pick up again. Light it all on fire. Then you also need to find a tree stump or a piece of concrete that you don't really care about. And a hammer. The hammer is important. So are tongs.
It's commonly used in cherry flavored sodas, is it now?
Yes.
Curious. Right, production. Okay. I imagine tolling is mentioned here first for a reason. Oh, could you buy benzaldehyde actually? I imagine you maybe could even, if you tried. Niche uses, reactions. Easily oxidized to benzoic. Oh, benzoic acid is something I also wanted to make. Maybe because it's a funny acid. It's benzene acid. I find that just hilarious.
That sounds frightening.
We only get into quantum physics with a hadron collider in your background. Exactly. Spot
Yeah.
on.
Simple as.
Yeah, I don't think you could be able to buy that because if it that easily oxidizes to benzonic acid, then it might be kind of difficult to store, I imagine.
So I needed some benzoic acid. So I left this container out for like 3 days.
Yeah. Recently had to boil away some solvent, but the boiling process created more of the product that I didn't want to create at that point because it would lead to like too many impurities. So I just left it out in the open for the ethanol to evaporate, and it worked out tremendously.
You're so right, Quaza. You're so right.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Stark could do it in a cave.
See,
Spare parts.
that's why I need the proof that Macon has a brain box. Okay, so like, oops. So like benzaldehyde, and then the second one was nitroethane. That also looks deceptively simple. Propane with nitric acid at 350, 400. Okay, yeah, okay. Right, so okay, so the laboratory method ain't much better.
Treating propane with nitric acid, exothermic. That sounds frightening.
At 350 to 450 degrees Celsius. This is all just terrible.
So you throw um grill fuel and thing that eats gold into the sun, and there you have one of the key components in Adderall.
Oh, that's tricky. Yeah, see, that's the problem. There are like many synthesis methods, but all of them are really difficult. I've picked these two because these are the simplest ones.
Do actual
The
junkies
rest
say,
are
"Oh, it's too
ignores.
difficult. I can't make this"? No, they just make it happen.
It would be certainly like for the first time when I synthesize it, it would take me a fair bit. I feel like the alkyl chloride one is just the. It makes sense the most. Eventually we will get there. Eventually. If I all of a sudden start trying to make alkyl chloride in videos, you all know what's coming. I won't say it, because you know. I shouldn't, but you'll know. It's so dumb. maybe we'll get there, we'll see. How much longer on the print? I'm getting quite sleepy. I can't let the print going. Oh jeez, 2 hours. I can't let the print going unsupervised. Cause that bitch is gonna knock it over. Damn it. I'm really tired, my goodness. Okay. This fall I'm starting a molecular and biomedical science program. I'm so excited. Oh, that's exciting. Man, I don't know much about biology or biomedicine.
You're trying to make amphetamine.
Yeah, but that's like organic chemistry at best, not really biochemistry.
It's drugs. Drugs is biomed.
No, biochemistry is when you stop treating molecules with individual atoms. That's basically when you get into biochemistry.
Oh, that's when it's like the weird spirals and lumps and all that, isn't it?
And yeah, when you start caring more about the folds and less about what makes up the folds, then yeah, I would call that biochemistry. Organic is the one with carbon chains, and then you still care about the carbons. Inorganic is when it just doesn't have carbon. Or sometimes it could have carbon. And sometimes it could have a lot of carbon. Inorganic is tricky. Molecular biomedical, that's curious. Let's skip ahead a bit to the latest part. Okay. Laser will... So, let's go with laser pointer. Or like the laser... I should have like in brackets. Not...
It would be so funny if your cat turned out to be one of those weird ones that don't care about the laser pointers.
I just threw a piece of tape on the floor and started playing with that instead of Jesse, alright? I think we're good.
Ah, fair enough.
I don't know what to call it because I'm not making a laser, and that's a great misconception. I'm not making a laser, I'm More like putting a module together. Into why is the laser and the laser called the same thing? Well, it's because the laser is, I suppose, a misnomer. I'm making a laser pointer, I guess, but that's no, whatever.
Laser case.
I'm just gonna
Case
call
for
it
your laser
cut
pointer.
distractor. Whatever. The laser module, batteries, powered, and a comically large red button. As all good things in life should be. It's nice because I've made the models for the print, and now I can just use them in the video, which is, I think, quite rather convenient. What? Fun. Somewhere. Where's the challenge? And I'm so glad you asked. This will be a very silly one, because the biggest challenge of this will be the assembly, undeniably, which means that we haven't actually gotten to the difficult part of the stream, which is fun. We've like done 80% of the work, but we still haven't gotten to the difficult part, because the difficult part will be the last one, which is the part where we need to assemble everything, because we'll need to be extremely careful and extremely mindful of how we put everything together. Since we need to attach the button to one side, we need to attach the laser pointer to the other, and then we need to make a space for the batteries to fit in there, and then we need to solder the laser pointer to the button, and that will kind of seal in place. It will be unmovable by then. Put the battery holder thingy for the button, and then hopefully it will just work. But that's a bit of a hope. I need to measure it out and make sure that everything is proper. Because if it isn't, holder for the battery will as well be a bit tricky, because ideally I would have like a little plate of copper or something, but in reality it's probably going to be just a coiled piece of wire, and that will have to work just fine, I suppose. Hopefully it will. I'm kind of worried that I might have made it too big, like too long and too narrow. That might be the folly. I think I'll bring us down. Yeah. You know what? We had a good stream. I feel like I'm gonna end it here. I am really exhausted. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I just got hit with this wave of tiredness. Right, I just...
Coffee ran out.
What?
Coffee ran out, maybe.
Coffee what?
Ran out.
No,
Like from
I
your
just
system.
drank it. Caffeine lasts for 8 hours. I think at least I think the half-life is 8 hours. I just drank it an hour ago.
Yeah, but when
Guys,
it's
he's building a
starting to,
tolerance.
I haven't.
when it starts dropping, you feel that as tiredness. Because you're more tired than before the drop.
In the past 3 days, I've had 2 cups of coffee. It really shouldn't be resistance.
But how long have you had it over the course of, you know, your life?
That's not how the resistance works. If you stop drinking for a couple of days, then you know you can't drop your resistance. Yeah, I don't know. The point is I am really quite tired. So we might need to finish this tomorrow, which is perfect because tomorrow the print will be finished. And then we'll be able to assemble though. Isn't that neat? Anyway, I'm gonna go. It's been fun. And for now, I suppose that'll be it. Thank you all so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.
Bye!